right, let's get to it. Let's see what we got. I guess we clocked in. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a great pleasure to have you here. I go by the name of Lespri. I am a spiritual healer. And essentially, as a spiritual healer, what I do pretty much, in essence, is that I help you to become Christ like, Krishna like, Buddha like. And what that simply represents or means, it simply means I help you to attain your highest level of consciousness. Now, how do I get to help you to attain your highest level of consciousness? Well, I help you to become mentally and emotionally balanced. And you might want to say to yourself, why is that even important? What that has to do with anything? Well, it has everything to do with it. Because for you to have your best state of clarity, you know, you would have your emotions would have to be in balance, and so is your intellect. And the reason being is, as you can see, or as you may have noticed in the past, when you say or when you see someone who's being too emotional, or let's just say they're being emotionally unbalanced, right? But the term that we use, I believe, is too emotional, right? When you see that, and then when you hear them talking, you could tell, there's a couple things that's in front of them, but they're not seeing. But yet, it's right in front of them. And that alone, by the way, guys, it's revealing our true essence too. This is also showing you that what you listen with or what you see with, it's neither these eyes nor these ears that you listen to. I know for me, I've read books where, I'm not a English speaker in terms of that being my first language, but I think I understand the shit if you're asking me. You know what? Let me be fair. I have read books that were in French that I didn't understand. So I'm saying that to say, and I'm pretty sure if, I mean, I mean, whether or not this is your, first language or not, there's been books that you read in your first language that you did not understand. Now, do you know how, does that mean you do not know how to read or write? No. In fact, you do. But it's the understanding that you did not get. That's why when we go to different grades, you have a teacher. I'm saying that to say, so that should show you that you're listening truly, has to do with your level of understanding. And that's what you see when someone's being too emotional, so to speak, or emotionally unbalanced. That's what you're seeing. That's why they always tell people you do not want to make the best decision when you're mad because you're not in the best state of clarity. So being emotionally unbalanced does have a direct impact on your intellect, on how you see things. Or let's just say if you were bit by a fucking dog, the next time you see a dog again, your behavior is going to change. And that is because your emotions or that experience, those feelings, have an impact on how you see things. And again, this is not a philosophy. We're not saying this to philosophize here or to show how knowledgeable we are, but this is just reflecting your reality. That's what it has been for all of us, regardless on what our philosophy of life is, regardless of what your religion may be. Ultimately, that's how we function. And the same thing goes for being mentally balanced too. Now, if you choose to be, as a result, because I see that a lot of people always be like, okay, being emotionally unbalanced will get you killed. Now, they never say you have to become emotionally balanced, but for some reason, they always feel like you have to suppress your emotions, totally suppress your emotions for you to be balanced. And guess what? When you think about it from that perspective, you also become unbalanced too. Because the thing about, being too logical, you become very rigid, you become robotic. You don't take any feelings into consideration, which makes you, you'll step on people's toes without, and inconsiderate. And because of that, what I'm saying, you would fail to see some of the things that are close to you. Same exact reaction or action that you would have gotten from being emotionally unbalanced. And let me just say this, and I'm not going to say too much on it. So you understand how emotions work and how when you add the right amount of emotion into your intelligence, it expands it, it opens it up. That's what you see in that Jesus story when they brought that prostitute to Jesus, and Jesus turned around and told those guys, well, why don't you, whichever one of you guys, without sin, you throw the first stone. Because that, what he was doing there is trying to get them to acknowledge by being emotionally in touch, because that's why there's such a thing as being emotionally balanced. For me to have compassion as one of the fruit of the Spirit, it entails for me, what I'm saying, to have the right amount of emotion and the right amount of intellect. Meaning, I sympathize, I understand what you're going through. I may not be, I wouldn't do it, but I understand. To make that connection, to have that, common denominator, it requires emotions. That's why you can't suppress your emotions. In fact, to suppress your emotions is the very foundation for toxicity. So anyway, now that you understand why it's important to become mentally and emotionally balanced, because for you to attain your highest level of consciousness, you got to see things perfectly. And I use that word perfectly too. Because the perfection that I'm referring to here is not being flawless. In this reality that we're living in, I want you guys to get rid of that mentality. I don't know who came up with that or how it came about. I guess when we're talking about being perfect, but no one is. That's not your reality. That's why, what I'm saying, you're living in your mind, because that's not your reality. Your reality is the more mistake you make, the better you get. That's why a mistake is not even a mistake if you choose not to pick yourself up. I'm sorry, if you choose to pick yourself up, then it's not a mistake. You only make a mistake when you stop. And this is what a lot of people fail to understand. And if we're talking about your reality, this is what your reality, this is what your reality entails. And if you're not living in your mind, why do we fall? So we all could get up. And that's why we have those songs. A lot of people are saying these things around us. Again, what I'm saying, keep getting up or keep failing. However you want to look at it. Or fail better. So to look at it perfectly, again, I was referring to looking at it from, a yin and yin perspective. Looking at it from the perfect amount, from, from your intellect and your emotions becoming one, being in alignment. And that's what the Jesus response, you know what I'm saying, pretty much was trying to let people know. Embrace your emotions as much as your intellect, and this is what you got. But anyway, make a long story short, this is what I do as a spiritual healer. I help you to attain your highest level of consciousness, and I help you to do that now by becoming mentally and emotionally balanced. Now, what do I mean by you being emotionally and mentally balanced? What that entails, if we want to start off with, let's just say, okay, let's start with being mentally balanced. What does it mean for you to be mentally balanced? Well, you would need to understand how your mind works. Because now what we're talking about here is you being more conscious of your own mind, understanding how it works, and you making the best out of it for yourself. Well, if that's the case, for that to happen, you have to understand how your mind works. But you also would have to be conscious of the relationship that you're building around you. Meaning, everything that you encountered have an impact on how you see things. That's why your culture shape you to think a certain way. The school that you go to shape you to think a certain way. The society, the political aspect, whatever the fuck, is training you to think a certain way. So you have to be aware of what is it that these things are shaping me to see. Because for you to be conscious of you, or to be mentally balanced, because you want to be balanced, you have to understand how these things works. Now, to be emotionally balanced, well, it's the same baseline understanding, which pretty much tells you what do you feel, not suppressing your emotions. What is your emotions telling you? How do you feel? How do you relate to it? Do you get the message? And then now from this point, once you have assimilate all of that, then you have the power to transmute your emotions. Meaning you may be sad or whatever the fuck the situation is. Now, you know what? Let me make myself happy. Let me play the music. Or, I mean, the bottom line is you aware of your emotions. You know what's taking place. You understand your emotional patterns. And now you have the ability to change it if you like. That's pretty much what being emotionally and mentally balanced entails. Now, let me just say this. I notice I kind of make it sound easy though. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? But just know this is a whole lot of work. Everything I just said here, although it may sound simple, but I mean, there's a whole lot that comes with it. Even just for you to understand your culture alone requires a lot. Do you see what I'm saying? Because it requires for you to understand the psyche of your own society or your tribal members. You would need. I mean, it's your job. You gotta understand. I mean, with everything you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? That entails the government, everything. You gotta know how they operate. It's your business. And for the betterment of you. Not to go and fight and, what I'm saying, do none of all of that nonsense shit, but for you to empower yourself. To know how you're positioning yourself, how you're moving out here. But anyway, I just wanted to say, I know I made it sound simple, and even when we're talking about being emotionally in touch too, like that requires a lot. In the occult, there's something called doing your shadow work or healing the wounded child. I mean, you have to acknowledge your pain, let alone not just the pain in itself, but the origin of the pain. And this is where the intellect and your emotions have to work together. This whole process entails your intellect and your emotions to work together for each. I mean, for either your mental or your emotions. But anyway, that's pretty much what I do in a nutshell. Now, if you're coming back, you already know what this is. This ain't nothing but love. We do this. Listen, this is a holy communion. This is all of us getting together, sharing the flesh of God. And what that entails, what this is referring to, this is us. This is, I mean, the true meaning of being a religious man, just so you guys know too, is to materialize the divine, the divinity. You're making it concrete. And that's what we do by talking about it. That's what we do by bringing that type of awareness to you. So hopefully you can adopt the Godhead mentality. And by also helping you to understand this is a practical matter. You know what I'm saying? As the man thinketh, so he is. So your life, I mean, ultimately, and without even me getting into, well, I will get, well, shit, I mean, I guess I had already started, this is all your spiritual life. And this is what it means for you as a spirit. It's because the more you delve into you to understand how you truly operate, then you realize it's not as it appears to be. Just like earlier when I was talking about the things that you listen to. You go to those different grades, you know how to read them, right? You know what I'm saying? But yet, you still need a teacher. And what that teacher is doing is helping you with the understanding, is bringing life into the letters that you're reading because you don't have enough life for you to bring it alive, if that makes any sense. So again, revealing our own nature, when you truly understand how we truly operate, well, that's what's going to set you free. And that entails you becoming more conscious of you. And that's when you become the bright one. And that's the state, what we call the state of realization, i.e., enlightenment. Woo! Alright, hold up. She's fucking me up. So, but also too, this is the great gathering. This is where we all meet. This is the meeting of the mind. This is where we all get to share who we are. But I mean, this is everything to me, man. You know what I'm saying? This is my job. This is when I come in and and ask you, how you doing, brother? you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? In fact, what we're doing here, we're giving sights to the blinds. We're helping you to see better. You know what I'm saying? By helping you to adopt a Godhead mentality, meaning by having a divine reasoning, a divine ways of seeing things. That's what I help you with. And the reason why, but most also, since we're talking about spirituality, the reason why this is your life, well, because it is. You want to change your life or change your mentality. Change your thinking. So again, all of this is to show how we operate. So that's why, I mean, when I'm talking about spirituality, it's your life. But also, welcome back, motherfuckers. You already know, baby. You already know. So let's delve right into it. Now, again, I mean, I felt like I was already talking about it, but if this is your first time and that's part of my routine, I'm not going to spend too much time on that. So everything we just talked about here is just spirituality. From the way we see things, from the way we understand things. And this, my friend, is what I use. This is my backup. This is how I stand in front of you. That's part of my makeup. This is, this is where I get my shit from. This is where I'm speaking from. I mean, how transparent would you like me to be? But also giving you my credentials too. So, spirituality is everything I just talked about. When you really get to the essence of how we operate, then you realize, we're mental, spirit. And then when you walk around somebody, you could feel their fucking energy and shit. Then, I'm saying, all that shit. And then the other abilities that we have as we grow, as we become spiritual now, we become spiritual when we acknowledge the spirit inside of us. Meaning you understand you got a third eye, you understand you got your chakras, oh shit. And then you also understand you have a subconscious mind. Some of the basic shit. But those basic shit is technically helping you to delve into the unknown, the dark side of you. The part that is not seen, that is not visible. And in the occult, we understand now, just to talk about the occult now is what you call the sacred text, the manual. It's the teaching aspect of this knowledge. And that's why you'll notice this type of knowledge is also always referred to as being esoteric, hermetic, closed, hidden. All of that, what this is referring to, again, it's all the same shit. It's not to be taken for face value. When you speak of Jesus, it's not a personal, it's not a historical being. It goes beyond that. And even what you so-called historical being, we're not. We're more than what we appear to be. Isn't that what makes us created from God image? So we still have those reflection in us. So now the occult is helping you to understand that part. Now those are the manual. This is where the secret text comes in. This is the mysterious or the mystery of all mysteries comes in, and that tells you. So again, hmm, hold on, let me check on that real quick. I'll be right back, guys. So, going back to what we were talking about in terms of the esoteric knowledge, is dealing with is the other part of spirituality that's giving you the manual instructions, on how those guidelines. And by the way, one of the main things that I do recommend is the Kybalion. The Kybalion, the seven hermetic principles, I strongly recommend that. The reason being is because that book, what it does, and of course, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. That alone, like that, I'm so in love with this shit. And regardless on how elevated I get, when I get back to it, there's always something new that I found in this shit. There's always something new. But anyway, and that's how you know this is true wisdom too. But ultimately, the reason why I do recommend this because it's self mastery book. It helps you to understand your environment as you. I mean, it helps you to understand yourself as it helps you to understand your environment. And as it is within, so it is without. The ultimate goal is for you to know who you are. But anyway, going back to the whole occult shit, again, it's your regular life. Now, the misunderstanding that I come across, especially from, let's just say, the popular collective, or for most people, right? It's always stemmed out of ignorance because they don't know who they are, so therefore, due to ignorance and also being raised by this, and their mind being shaped by this society, So you never see spirituality as part of your life because you also were trained to look at yourself from a material perspective, not from a within perspective, but from an external perspective. And as a result, you do everything you worshiping idols. So everything that you're doing is relating to your external. You're keeping up with the Joneses. You know, it's a competitive world. You know, you're doing all of that, which has nothing to do with anything internally. So you're technically worshiping idols. And that's what I always tell you guys because you identify yourself with that. And as a result of all of that, so when I come to you and talk to you about spirituality, it's almost like you already have this pre concept idea of, you know what I'm saying, whenever you hear spirituality, it's always this motherfucker with those towels wrapped around his ass, or the nigga with the I don't know how do you call it, like tubin, whatever the fuck. You always tend to have this idea of what spirituality is, but never you walking around scratching your ass or you having to be hungry and having to eat something. Whereas these motherfuckers are just like you. They do the same thing that you do. They shit just like you shit, but yet you don't see it from that perspective. It's almost like spirituality to you becomes something that's outside of you. It's in the heavens. Out of ignorance because you don't know who you are. But anyway, let's delve into the conversation, right? Because what I really wanted to talk to you guys tonight. So, but anyway, just to summarize, you know, just so you understand where I'm coming from, but most importantly, to let you know that spirituality is your regular life. It is a practical matter. In fact, all of those different narrative, the scriptures, and everything that you're coming across, those are guidelines. That's why they always represent either a man that God sent or however the fuck. It's just to show you those guidelines to represent you. And because you're not conscious of you, you're not knowing how these things work. So you look at mythology as mythology, but don't understand that mythology is the narrative that's conditioning you. Do you see what I'm saying? A lot of you guys go by the story of Adam and Eve, right? We all talk about Adam and Eve and how the creation started. Well, guess what? Look at every society that believes in Adam and Eve. Look at how they function. Because Adam and Eve, when Jesus or God, you know, figure out that they were naked, they went and hide. What do you have in your culture now? Is it okay to say dick? Is it okay to say pussy? Is it a bad word? Where did that come from? It's almost like for you to be socially accepted, of saying dick, it's like so outrageous. Like, you know what I'm saying? Pussy is so outrageous, right? It's like, wow. Of course. You are ashamed of your genitals in front of God. And for you to be in front of God, you're not going to talk no sex shit. And no wonder why sex is dirty for you too. So just when you think those are just mythologies or they have nothing to do with you, I beg to differ. Au contraire, mon frère. Totally different. Au contraire. Au contraire. Believe it. So, the whole idea, because you don't know who you are, then spirituality is a third party thing. It's not a popular thing. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not like talking. It's not. It's almost like it's not real life to you. Your real life is your misery. You having to pay bills. That's why you say, and even in our society, that's why it's important for you to understand the collective consciousness. But yet again, for you to claim your mind too. We're living in a culture where, you know what I'm saying, can money pay our bills? Like, can love pay your bills? What the fuck does that mean? What love got to do with your bills? Is that your way of downplaying love because you're hurt? What love got to do with that? Do you take a shower? Do you brush your teeth? Does brushing your teeth pay your bills, nigga? Why do you brush your teeth for? Are you real? You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like everything that validates some shit has to do with you getting or having to do some money shit. Again, the fucking illusion. You lying to yourself. Not seeing the bigger picture. Looking at the illusion. And speaking of that, this is the best way for me to get into the conversation that we're here to do tonight. Because what we're going to be talking about tonight is having your faith the size of the mustard seed. What does it mean and how powerful is it? See, most people always look at this as it's like you got to have a lot of faith. But I don't think that's what this is saying here. In fact, what this is saying is, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like if you don't have a whole lot of faith, you have a little bit of that, nigga, you good. Is it me or I'm not sure. But that's what that is pretty much saying. But now, for you to truly understand this statement, you have to understand this world that you're living in. For you to understand how powerful this statement is, you have to understand who you are. And this is what is not being said. Because what that is revealing how powerful the divine is. Let me say that again. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me just slow it down. Let me slow it down all the way the fuck down. The Indians call this world Maya. And Maya means illusion. Now, a lot of people sometimes, when they look at the word illusion, they always get it distorted. They always get it fucked up for fake. When they say, "Oh, this world is fake. It's the Matrix. It's not real." Mm-mm. You're looking at it from. I don't think you truly understand the process here. Because karma is real. Some shit you do here, you definitely gonna see it. Do you see what I'm saying? Oh, you're gonna rip what you sow. How is this not fucking real? Your mind makes it real. But anyway, what illusion is referring to, it's not fake. Fake is totally different. If I'm wearing, let's just say, fake Jordans, that means there's an original one. Mine is not the original one. Or mine was not made by a manufacturer that the original ones makes. Now, that's fake. So you have two different things. Now, illusion, I want you to look at it from this perspective. When you're looking at a magic trick, most magic tricks, you'll see they cut the person in half. Now, when you see that, you see it. Do you not see it? Yes, you do. Now, but you also know it's not real. So, this is not saying this is fake. What this is saying is what you see, there's more to it than what it appears to be. That's why when you understand that, just to make a quick connection for you, not to give shit, I give it. It doesn't matter. We got a lot more to talk about any fucking way. So when you're approaching that from that perspective, then you already understand everything you see. There is more to it. Just like when you meet somebody, it's not what they appear to be. You got to know their character, whatever the fuck else you need to know about them for you to know who that person is. Like when we call somebody a hoe, the hoe is not written on your face. Although some hoes is written on Let me stop. I'm wilding. Although some hoes, though, you know what I'm saying, it might be written on your face. But for the most part, you're not gonna know. You're gonna know who and what somebody is by what they do. You know what I'm saying? By by the labor of their own fruit. And that's when you understand that. That's why we know everybody's the result of their own product. But anyway. The world that we're living in is an illusion. Meaning there's a whole lot, just like us. We appear like we have a body and all that shit. And then the more you delve into us, and then the body's almost like, damn, I have multiple bodies. I know for me, at times I feel like I'm very cosmic. Well, that's because I feel like the universe is like it's embodying me. That's also my body too. But that has to do with my level of consciousness. So then your interpretation of bodies become it's simply an extension of your consciousness too. Again, you're going beyond the veil. You're not a fool. That's why we use the word fool. When you don't know who you are, you're a fool. You don't understand the spiritual laws, well, you a fool. So now, by you understanding that about this realm, the realm that we're living in, Maya, this illusion, doesn't mean it's not real, but it's not what it appears to be. When you look at that magic trick, and then you'll see the person again cut in half, that person was never cut in half to begin with. Because if it was, you show me some. Oh, do you get it? An illusion. Now, why is that important? Because this is talking about two different things. It's important for you to understand this is an illusion, because now you don't need to have a whole lot of faith, man. You just gotta know. Do you see how this is making sense? Now, all you need, truly, is the understanding and the faith of the size of a mustard seed. When you understand, and most importantly too, you're gonna have to have faith. Why? Because now you know the truth. Everything you see is operated by what you don't see. Even yourself. As a man thinketh, so he becomes, or so he is. Your vision is your creative reality. And by your vision, I'm implying what you come to understand about life. I had this short that I made earlier today, that was talking about the whole aspect of rich dad, poor dad. And then when you study about grow and rich and think rich. The whole idea there was for you to acknowledge, for you to be conscious of what you're not conscious of. When this nigga's telling you, you know, think rich people think a certain way, what is that telling you? You're not thinking that way, but also for you to become conscious of what, of how you're not thinking, and to change your thinking. Does that make sense? So the faith, the size of a mustard seed, is teaching us two main things. It's more faith because now that you know the truth, I mean, it's not even more faith. It's you knowing the truth. That's why the early Christians, or when they talk about the Gnostics, they talk about knowing. When you know, this is what you guys fail to understand. You see, when they talk about guys like Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and all that shit, it's not a lot of faith that these motherfuckers had. No. It was the fact that they knew. If Jesus, however you guys choose to look at him, right? Under that tree, you know what I'm saying, had to have just a small his faith. He had to renew his faith, man. He knew he needed just a mustard seed, man. But most importantly, I mean, I don't know, because this story, gets shaped in so many different ways. You know what I'm saying? People shape it in ways of saying, he did it as a human. Even in that, it's telling you everything. But yet, he fought for us as a God. What does that tell you? Both sides reside in you. That's why man needs God and God needs men. It's you. For you to elevate, there's no one who will thrive without God. And what God entails here is a higher thinking, your development. God produces quality in you. So that's why I tell people, man, you can't tell me nothing about God. In fact, because you don't know you're not even using God correctly. Me, this is my life. That's how much I know of him. Or that's how much I have created him. I don't want to spook you. Relax. You know what I'm saying? Relax. One step at a time. Relax, baby. The whole idea here is that for you to elevate, and that's why God means a lot to us. But most importantly, where I'm truly trying to go here is not just God, but by you having the mental understanding of the universe. That's how you thrive. That's how you truly get to see things beyond the veil. That's how you know God. But knowing the truth, all you need is just faith the size of the mustard seed. And what this is truly telling you, again, is showing you the power of the divine. You don't even need to have a whole lot. That's how knowing the truth is really setting you free. It doesn't require much, but it requires a whole lot, though. And what that entails is for you to wake up to the truth. That's that aha moment. And that's why you need those rituals. That's why it's not, this shit cannot be done academically. Just like you need a teacher every grade, as you already know how to read and write, which is great. But you're developing, just like I always tell people, you will always tell other people to think critically. Well, you got to become critical. As a man thinketh, so he becomes, so he is. How do you think critically? You know anybody who thinks critically who's not critical? You would have to be keen in your judgment. So that requires for you to be critical. And which brings me to another spiritual laws. Well, not well, yeah, one of them. But I also wanted to speak about the spiritual laws since we were talking about this being a fucking illusion. So meaning things are not what you see. So literally this is the land of the lost. So how do you see? This is where spiritual laws comes in. What you see the Hermetic principle is teaching you now is to see the mental, is helping you to is shedding light on the fucking illusion. For instance, one of the laws is as it is within, so it is without. This is helping you to identify, to see things beyond the surface. Meaning, if you're not too sure of what's taking place in your life right now, look at your room. How needy is it? Or it may not even be that. It could be just a bad day. But the bottom line of what I'm saying here, or what the Kabbalion is teaching us, is that to as it is within, so it is without. If you don't know what's taking place in the inside, just like when someone is, let's just say, depressed, then it's going to reflect. You know, you probably wouldn't have your windows open. You probably, oh, leave me alone, shut the door, you know what I'm saying, let me just, you know what I'm saying, whereas when you're excited, it's different. So I'm saying that to say, you know, your mood, your character, as it is within, so it is without, is being reflected. And as a result, when you understand that alone, and this is what the spiritual law is, then now you're able to process, how am I feeling inside today? I didn't open up the fucking windows. I didn't want to talk to nobody. Oh, I'm feeling like shit. Let me turn this shit around. So again, this is just to show you, again, self-mastery, Kybalion, 7 Hermetic Principles. You owe it to yourself. It's free. On fucking YouTube right now, it's free audio, free game all day, every day. You put that shit on, you go to sleep. You put that shit on, you fucking. You put that shit on, you eating. That shit goes with everything. But the bottom line, what I'm saying is, this shit's free, bro. I mean, come on, man. You owe it to you. In fact, that's the least. That's the least you could do for you, and that's everything you could do for you too, as you are the way. Just so you know, but I do have, I do have something coming out on that though. I already talked about that, but I'm gonna have a short where I talk about that. But going back now to the fucking illusion. That's why you want to know. Us, spiritual developed people, we know. We are connected. And our connection pretty much entails us not seeing things. That's how we've been moving by faith. Like for me, I've always been, like, it was so funny. Just the other day, I was tapping into myself. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, as soon as I landed here, I hit the ground and I started running. You know what I'm saying? I was moving by faith Ever since then, my passion. What I'm saying? I was passionate about Christ. What the fuck was this about? I got into the Bible. Okay, I got out of it, in and out, and then I went into and studied all of those different things, and I'm like, oh, okay. All of that was all practical matter, but it was just a part of me. I mean, not me knowing the way that I know it now, but ever since then, I was moving by faith. But now that you know what I truly know, I was moving by my knowing, my higher self. Because truly, when you talk, if you're going to talk about faith, all it really needs is just a little mustard seed. That's why that shit moved mountains. And here's something else too. That's why, oh my God, it's on the house. When we say God works in mysterious ways, if you ever witness it, I know for me I had. And that's why too, shout out to this nigga DMX. He had this line where he was saying, you put me in a situation where I feel like there's nothing, there's no way out. And then in the middle of it, I got out of it. It's almost like you never thought that you had a problem and then there's no problem. Those are the mysterious ways. And those are when, because this is a fucking illusion, this is the breakthrough. This is how God operates. No wonder why, what I'm saying, I'm giving out miracles today. Those are miracles. That's the breakthrough. This is the connection between that other world with this world. And ironically, that's also no. I'm not gonna tip you twice, nigga. You only got that. So again, all of that is revealing how much of a fucking illusion this is. That's why us who knows, we understand we don't go by this sight. I mean, shit, nigga, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. I've witnessed my whole world crumbling like around me, including myself. Like I tell you guys, man, it's what kills you that makes you stronger. The caterpillar must die to become a butterfly. It's not what doesn't kill you, it's what kills you that makes you stronger. That caterpillar becomes stronger by becoming a butterfly. And that entails him dying. The new's gotta be, the new's gonna have to be new. The old's gotta be old. So again, this is all referring to, the size of that mustard seed, baby. That's all you need. If even that. But what you truly need is for you to know. Because you're knowing, it's what's, you just know. And that's why I could see why other people may consider me a man of faith. But I'm just a man of knowing, a man of God. This is my essence. I know shit. Do you see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Scotty. I know shit, Scotty. So to truly understand the whole idea behind, like your faith size to be, what I'm saying, of a mustard seed, as little as a mustard seed. I don't think you understand. This is a powerful statement, but not powerful for the things that you think it is. It's not truly asking you to have more faith, but it's truly asking you, you know what I'm saying? Like if you have a little bit of faith, nigga, just a little bit, not even a lot, just a little. But what you truly need is for you to know. Because this is when now, you know what I'm saying, you have no evidence of what's in front of you. You have no clue, man. It is what it is. I just know I gotta do this. I know I gotta go this way. I know I gotta do that. This is when now, forget about praying to God. You become God now. He resides in you. I'll say this. When I met my guys, you know what I'm saying, when I started fucking with them, you know what I'm saying, the one thing they taught me, you know, was you got to go through the rites of passage, baby. I have to let that go. You know what I'm saying? It can't be done that way. You know what I mean? Let me say, let me put it to you this way: your heart is powerful. Your intuition, what you know, what you feel, is powerful. Never doubt it. I mean, of course, I'm saying this now because I have doubted it in the past. Just so you know, don't be fucked up. Don't get it fucked up. Listen, I had listen. This is what we do. Why do we fall? So we know how to get up. So I'm telling you this, you know what I'm saying? Because I became perfect. Not flawless, but I have found the union in myself. You have to see beyond the veil. And then when you see beyond the veil now, then that's how you get to truly see how powerful the divine is. Those miracles that are taking place. If all you need is the faith of the side of the mustard seed, this is how powerful what you don't see is. That's what this is telling you. This is how powerful it is for you now to do your shadow work. Because what you don't see, you are operating out of what you don't see. Some of us who are able to change, what do? We take accountability. We acknowledge how we think. That's why you got to be conscious of how you think. And thinking, I'm not saying having a good or bad idea. That's not what I'm talking about here. You know, it's not like let's just say you had a picture of some pussy in your mind. Oh my God, let me erase that. That's bullshit. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your vision, your level of understanding. That's your vision. Not an idea, but your level of understanding. You know how they say you want to change your life, change your mentality. It's not just an idea that you're going to have to change. It's not, it's not that. I mean, although, in so many words, it is a way of looking at things. So it is an idea. In that sense. But it's truly like it has to be practical into your life. It has to take effect. Like, you really got to see it that way. That's why anybody who has ever changed or transformed or transcended, you understand That's why you say changing your mentality. So even to talk about having faith in God, what is that telling us? It's asking you to believe in what you don't see. That is greater than you. But what a lot of you guys do, due to ignorance, you don't understand that that message is meant for you, for your guidelines. Then now you looking at it as a way to escape. That's why religion now is become, it's almost like you come to live this life to prepare for another life. It's not, you're not even living this life. You came here to prepare for another life. Isn't that crazy? Whereas Jesus, everything was in the here and the now. Another reason why when you do your affirmation, you say it in the now, it's not because you're going to get it right away. Sometimes it may work out that way too. But in the now, what you're truly saying is that it is materializing. You're giving it form in the now. You see, when you understand it that way, then you see, you could tell how I manifest my whole nigga. I master my whole. So this is how powerful that statement is, because that statement is saying so much. You know what? In fact, I think I'm gonna post this on my other channel too, so that way, because that is a quote. So, by the way, I mean, well, since it's gonna be on both channel, if this is your first time here, obviously, I also have another channel that I call "To Give Is to Receive," and what I do there is that I use a lot of quotes, and I help people to attain their level of consciousness through those quotes. And those quotes is what I call the power of words, because what you truly call the power of words is truly how things are being said, and you get to witness it. When you're being motivated by a certain word, or you're being moved by a statement, that's the power of the word. Then now you get to see how the word is acting on you. These are practical matter. You never read a quote and then that shit hits you a certain way. Either you feel either motivated, inspired, or fucking enlightened. It's, you get to see how it has an impact on you. And all of that has to do with not necessarily of the objective of the meaning. I'm sorry, not necessarily of the objective meaning of these words, but then you'll notice is how these things are being said. That's why poetry and motherfucking proverb, or those quotes, they are so powerful because they are structured in a certain way. Although they are all different respectively, but yet the same structure, you notice there's a certain way things are being said. And that's truly what the power of the word is. So the reason why I'll be posting that too, because now we're talking about, the size of a sea. I mean, shit, I guess, that's what I do. So I guess I'll post it on both sides. But if I remember correctly, just to, I guess, to label it, I mean, I'll find it. I mean, you guys will see it on the title, because sometimes I don't, I mean, I've done the Bible thing for so long. Some verses I remember, others I don't. But two things for certain though, I understand it, and I'll give you the proper understanding. You could go ahead and give me the verses, but I'll give you the fucking understanding. I could guarantee you that. But anyway, um, it comes down to you understanding. Again, what I'm saying? It's really telling you, it's showing you the power of the divine. And then when you understand that too, that's if you go a little bit further, then you understand everything that you see is ruled by the things that you don't see. That's why in life they tell you invest in the things that money can buy. Do you see what I'm saying? If it has a price on it, it's cheap, regardless of how much it costs. You know what I'm saying? For you to be valuable, you got to go for the things that are valuable. So again, it's. I mean, I hope you can see the pattern, or you know what I'm saying, the understanding here. This is all revealing you, but also for you to understand. You know what I'm saying? That mustard seed, the faith of the size of the mustard seed. You have to understand who you are, and hopefully, you won't even need no faith. You would just know. And when you know, well, when you know, you know. The outside has nothing to do with you. That's why I tell these fuckers, I don't know, like, random, you know what I'm saying? Commercial breaks. There's a bunch of dummies, you know what I'm saying? Who was trying to throw rock at the sun, you know what I'm saying? And, I mean, you can't throw rock at the sun, but they don't believe fat is greasy. Hey, this is fat? No, there's no grease in it. Fat doesn't mean greasy. Okay, that's fine. you know who don't understand what it's like to be a knower. I don't need to hear you, bitch. I don't need your fucking apology. you know, for what? You know what I'm saying? Is that gonna change anything for me? It's not gonna do shit for me. Like you didn't do shit for me then, you ain't doing shit for me now. You ain't never gonna be doing shit to me or for me. I mean, it's crazy because 50 Cent, ironically, was talking about that. As you thriving in life, you're gonna find people that feel like they are entitled to you, and motherfuckers you don't even fucking know. Let me emphasize on that. Motherfuckers that don't even not even you don't fucking know, that don't even fucking know you neither. You want to talk about a crazy world? Like you want to talk about a mental institution? Well, I mean, we are in it. But anyway, I was saying that to say, once you know, you know. Once you know, you know. You see what I'm saying? It's like motherfucker. You can hide, thinking that people don't know, but for me, I don't need to see. I know what I know. When you know, you know. It's like when you know, does it matter if somebody's gonna lie to you? In fact, you're just gonna smile. Like, yeah, you're entitled. Mr. Be like, yeah, of course you're entitled. Since you're entitled, I'm gonna make sure. I mean, and it's for you to understand this. I want you to go and check out the Mick Mill video. I mean, audio, whatever the fuck. If that was Puff Daddy fucking them. If you're entitled to me, I'm gonna make sure you fucking me this way. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yes, Daddy. Since you're entitled to me, I'm gonna make sure of that. You'll never ever fuck with me in your whole fucking life. Not you, not the people you hired, not the people you hired to do anything on me. I promise you that. If you don't know it, you're feeling it. And you're going to feel it for you to know it. You're going to fuck me that way. Hell yeah, baby. I'm making sure of it. I didn't start it, but I sure will finish it. Don't get weak now, baby. Oh man, I'm shit. I tell him, man, I'm warming up. I'm loving this. That's what I do. I love it. You gotta give me more. They have no clue. But anyway, that was just random. Just so you guys know, if this is your first time, I talk to the whole fucking universe. There are people who came here to see me for different reasons. And I'm making sure that they get everything that they're looking for. I try to make it fair. You know what I'm saying? Just like everything they ever wanted from me. Listen, everything they ever wanted from me, every little thing, I'm going to make sure you get it. Because obviously, that's what you wanted. You know why you're getting it? Because that's what you wanted. That's another tip that I'm giving you. But it's okay. That's what I do. I'm the type to whoop your ass and teach you at the same time. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying, Scotty? But anyway, going back to this whole conversation here, you know what I'm saying? The faith the size of a mustard seed is such a powerful statement. Because what this is revealing, oh my God, is so incredible. What that is, first of all, you have to understand, just to summarize real quick, and I'm going to let you guys go. You have to understand the world that you're living in. You also have to understand, why do you even need to have faith? And then when you know why you need to have faith, all you need is a mustard seed. Not to say you don't even need it at all, but to know. But you always going to display faith, because as you step into the unknown, the unknown is going to make itself known as the unknown. That's when your faith is going to be needed. And by the way, that's the power of choice too. But anyway, I got something else coming up on that, because I've been working on that one. When you understand the true power of choice, it's a powerful thing. Most people always argue anyway. I'll get to it. You know what I'm saying? But let me just say this. I'm going to leave you with this. Most people always talk about free will versus choice. Personally, I say it's both. You know what I'm saying? In your free will, you'll get to experience the power of choice. And through your choices, you'll get to experience your free will. So there's levels to it. On one end, I do get what they're saying, right? In terms of, well, we do have different, things that influences us. But my thing is, even your reaction to it, though, should be taken into consideration. Because somebody next to me may not have the same reaction that you have. Or somebody, okay, you could be, in fact, depending on who sent you here. The stupid motherfucker who said, look at this dumb motherfucker. You're like, what? That's not what I see. I know. Because you're not as dumb as this motherfucker. He's projecting himself. That's why everything these dummies do, they dumbing themselves out. They telling on themselves they don't even know. It's like, that's when they tell you, man, yo, listen, man. Yo, that's why they tell you, man. When you're dealing with idiots, you ain't got to do nothing. Nothing at all. Don't do nothing, bro. You know what I'm saying? The whole idea. That's why for me, I don't like the saying that says, not to argue with a fool because people from afar can't tell it. Fuck what people think. Fuck what motherfuckers think. But I get it too. Because they're looking at two stupid people, arguing. They wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I get that. But for you, though, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to get on this level. Get up here. Fuck what people think. You don't cast your pearls before swine, well, because you're wasting it, baby. You know that you got treasure. But most importantly, too, you know yourself and you're not projecting yourself on other people. So what these people are doing when you don't know who you are, that's what projection is. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to listen to people who are projecting, because they tell you everything about them. Everything they tell you about me, trust and believe, is true about them. You know what? Like some people, they gotta lie when they talk about me. For me, I don't know, why do you guys make it so easy on me? And you know what I'm saying? Like, at least you lying, your lies is gonna come. It's gonna be discovered. It's gonna make you look even worse. Yes, you're entitled to me. Yo, this shit is fucking crazy. I'm loving it though. every moment of it, every inch. And all you gotta do, going back to that saying, man, just watch them destroy themselves, man. All you gotta do, get some popcorn, get some drinks, and that's you good. If you smoke a little bit of what you do, you know what I'm saying? We ain't judging. You do what you do, baby. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gotta know. Just like what's in my cup now, it's none of your business, bitch. Mind your business. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's just crazy to know is the state of mind, is where you need to go. You know what I'm saying? And having that little bit of faith, it's needed, and you're gonna have it anyway, regardless of how little it is. Once you follow in that inward path, listen, faith automatically comes with it, because it's all gonna be things you're gonna be involved in that you don't see. You don't know the results. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you're gonna have to go with the ride. You gotta go for the ride, baby. You know what I'm saying? You gotta become water, as my man Bruce Lee said, and that entails, you know what I'm saying, you going with the flow. You're gonna have to pick up your own cross, baby. Oh yeah, man. I hope I had a shortcut for you, but hey, man, there's no shortcut, baby. Your spiritual elevation is not your physical, comfort. It's not. You know what I'm saying? And just like Jesus, baby, yeah, man, you're gonna have to stand under that tree. You know how many times I had to be under that tree, man? I'm like, oh shit, motherfucker. Be it. Again, that was not enough? Alright, well, fuck it. Be it. To whom much is given, you already know. You already know. So that is, I'm saying that to say too, and I'm going to tie that up to what we're talking about here. Every action, every decision that you make, every step that you make, either comes with faith or you look into control. A little, all you need, my friend. If somehow You missed it. Somehow you don't know. You don't understand the power of the divine. Or somehow you would have to figure it out. But all you need, my friend, is faith the size of a mustard seed. I want you to look at it from both perspectives. And they're both right. You know what I'm saying? Both of them are right at the same time. On one hand, this is showing that you need no faith at all, depending on the level that you're on, which entails you knowing. On the other hand, now, if you don't have much knowing, well, guess what you need? I mean, it's gonna be much more than that, though. I gotta be honest. Cause when shit don't work out your way, nigga, shit, it's gonna be more than that. So truly, you wanna get to your knowing, and for you to do that, you have to understand the reality, and this is where it entails you have to know who you are. All of this, the seed, the size. I mean, having a faith the size of a mustard seed, what this is truly talking about, when you get to discover and get underneath it all, get to the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the pit, then it's truly talking about you. And ultimately, this is what it all comes down to. Whenever you're talking about God, there's no God without you. Your church needs you. The church that you go to, they need you. Literally. Anyway, let me stop, man. But anyway, man, guys, I just wanted you guys to know, man, it's nothing but love what we do here. This is what the definition of breaking bread is. We're breaking bread, we're giving sights to the blinds, you know what I'm saying? The paralyzed are walking now. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. And listen, man, and this is rewarding in itself for me. Having, the privilege, even to talk about this and to bring, forth that light to others. And my God, man, guys, I mean, I don't think you understand. You know what I'm saying? And it comes with what it comes with. Listen, man, this is your path, just like it is mine. Just keep being you, man, and always remember, for you to be you, nobody else can be around. In the occult, we say, you must kill your mom and dad. And again, I mean, I don't know who's listening to that. This is not referring to anything physically here. And as a parent too, what you do is you prepping your kids to have faith in them. That's why you're supporting your kids, so they can support themselves. Your teaching is to teach them how to be them. Not for you to project yourself. And that's what you see with people who does not have self-wisdom. And that's why for me, like I was saying, when they project to me, I'm like, I love it. And you better listen to what they're telling you. You better motherfucking listen, because they're all telling you the truth. They're all telling you the truth. I mean, the exception is it's not about me, but they're telling you the truth about them. And again, I just wanted to go back to that because I feel like this is a real gem that you should take away with you. This being an illusion, but also for you to understand your breakthrough, the miracle, like those miraculous moments, they take place when there's no way out. Or maybe at least when we feel like there's no way out. That's the breakthrough. keep that one. But to the great listeners, I also said something else that I didn't say. But God damn it, that was my business. All right. But listen to what you don't hear. Again, faith the size of a mustard seed, man. That's all you need. That's all you need. That's all you need. Almost no faith at all. Do you see what I'm saying? And if you need a whole lot of faith, well, guess what? All you need, don't worry about it. It's just the size of a mustard seed. See what I'm saying? So the overall message here, and as you can tell, and the way I was even able to verbalize this idea in the way that I did, well, I had to do with me knowing who I am, understanding the environment that I'm living in, and that's what I just wanted to leave you with. And if you understand this is for the great listeners, though. I'm gonna say this, man. Listen, man, you are well on your way. You're doing something great, sir or ma'am. Don't give up. Just keep going. Remember why we fall, so we know how to get up. And what we do here, we keep getting up, baby. That's all we do. Our purpose here, what do you do? I just get up. Nigga, I stay all the way up. I get up so much, I just stay all the way up. Again, spirituality is your reality. You know, what we're talking about here is practical things. You know, again, faith and the things that you need in life, and even your accomplishment. You know, you're going to fail through success. The great Les Brown, I mean, why did I say great? Did this nigga pass away? No, I didn't mean great in the sense that he passed away. Did he? I mean, I'm probably said it for a reason, but okay. But what I'm saying is how great he is. You know what I'm saying? And you know, because, you know, I remember in my college days when I first started, you know, those motivational shit was some of the shit I used to listen to. And then, and over the years you grow, and then you're like, anyway, that goes to show you too. It's not one thing that it's everything you come in contact with, you're building a relationship with, and that relationship ultimately is to help you to grow. It's for consciousness. That's why your purpose on this earth is for you to be conscious, nothing else. But anyway, I'm gonna leave you here. I'm gonna leave you here. All you need is the faith, the size of a mustard seed. I mean, so much so. I mean, is it even needed? I'll leave that up to you. But if it's needed, that's all you need. And if that's all you need, I now want you to ask yourself this question: what do you need to know? That it's only this little that you need for you to do what you need to do. And we're gonna leave it here. You already know it's nothing but love. I love you guys from the moon and back. You already know I sing. Mali.